What's going on, guys? Welcome to another Coin of the Day special. And the market is picking up again, as I expected. We see Bitcoin did kind of take quite a dive. This is probably an all-time low this year for Bitcoin, but you know, it was also at an all-time high pretty much. Late 2017, early 2018, I mean, Bitcoin was up there, so can't really complain, right? It is what it is. Nevertheless, yeah, the market is picking up, and I think we might just see it skyrocket and take off, but it's going to be a matter of several months. Anyhow, that's just my view, my opinion, and let's get on to crossing that bridge when we get there, and we just got there with Grostlecoin, or at least I did, just for the day. This is my coin of the day. Recently found out about this coin, and I really like what I hear and everything I've learned thus far. Initially, I was doing research on Digibyte, and all the different features which are a part of Digibyte, and all the features that Digibyte implemented, and one of them was segregated witness, and we've seen recently Bitcoin go to Segwit. But Digibyte was number 2 to implement segregated witness, and Grostlecoin was actually number 1. So we're going to kind of read into that here, and this is a website called wikicryptocoins.com. Great website. I really like it. It's kind of like a Wikipedia for coins. I don't see that it has like every crypto coin that's out, but it definitely caught my eye, and I like the layout. It's pretty simple. It's very informative, so I'm going to continue using it until I'm doing a review or a video on a coin that isn't on the site, and then I'll, find it elsewhere. Just fix my screen here. So, Grostlecoin cryptocurrency guide. Let's go down here. What is Grostlecoin? So, Grostlecoin launched on the 22nd of March 2014 with a focus on technological advancement, and is Segwit and Lightning network ready. So this is really interesting to see coins that you kind of, I haven't heard of this coin. I've seen it on the Coin Market Cap, and I've kind of seen that name popping up and around on the internet, but it's really interesting to learn that a lot of these features that like Bitcoin, for example, is coming out with, like Segwit and the Lightning Network, was something that was already a part of or something that was introduced by a coin that's not very well known. Grostlecoin is a fast and secure coin with almost zero fees, and this is true because I tried this the other day. I sent a little bit of Grostlecoin to my Grostlecoin wallet, and it was amazing. Like, the fees were like, I barely even noticed that there was any fees for the transaction. And Grostlecoin is privacy oriented. Major development release every 3 months. That's another perk. I seen that while studying Grostlecoin just recently, is they they're coming out with a major development release every 3 months, and this is great because it really shows you that they're engaging and they're interacting with developing this coin. It's not just something that's kind of like a pump and dump. I think, what was it, like pay coin or something, or there's like one coin, I forgot the name of it, but I remember there was like the biggest pump and dump scheme on the market, and there was so much hype around it, and then there was like really cheap and cheesy hype. It was like almost like a cheap like an infomercial or something. Anyhow, but yeah, every 3 months, that's good. That means you're showing that you're constantly striving towards developing your idea, and I think that's really key, is consistency. Is really fundamental to success of anything, any kind of a success that you want. You have to be consistent, and that's going to determine your longevity. So as long as you're consistent and you have a great idea, which Grostlecoin is fantastic, I think. So far, just like even the name is kind of like Grostlecoin. Like, what does it mean? I don't know, but it sounds good. Grostlecoin was the first coin to activate Segwit and is a Lightning Network ready. I already said that. The cryptocurrency operates as open source software on a peer-to-peer model. Transactions take place directly between the payer and the payee. Of course, a lot of this we already expect, as that's what cryptocurrency is supposed to be. So when if anybody was to tell you otherwise, that their cryptocurrency was not peer-to-peer, I would stay away from that crypto for sure. This means that no trusted intermediary such as banks or PayPal is required to verify the details of the sender and receiver. Rather, the transactions are verified by nodes, okay, and recorded in an open ledger referred to as the blockchain. And this is just common stuff and common nomenclature that you're going to hear all across the cryptocurrency field, or in the realm of cryptocurrency. The main idea of creating Grostlecoin was to establish an electronic payment model that was purely based on mathematical proof. This is a system that is independent of influence from centralized authorities, a currency transferable electronically and instantly at a very small fee. Grostlecoins are created by miners on its network as a reward for confirming transactions. The founder pointed that only 105 million Grostlecoins will ever exist when all the coins are mined. Moving forward, Grostlecoin is ASIC resistant, a GPU miner's heaven, which makes the mining distribution of this coin fair and more even. To help prevent the centralization of the coin, Grostlecoin uses 2 rounds of pure Grostle 512 mining algorithm, and no ASIC has ever been created for it. The Baikal ASIC has an implementation of Myriad Grostle, but is not compatible with Grostlecoin. This kind of reminds me of what Digibyte is doing, where they have an algorithm set up to where the way that miners are rewarded, it's not just ASIC miners that are able to have a monopoly over the Digibyte network in respect to mining and earning mining rewards. It's kind of the algorithm for Digibyte is set up in a way where, it's not one group of miners, or kind of like one hardware is preferred over another in terms of mining. And I think that's important. Maybe that's where Digibyte got the idea. I don't know, but I like reading about this, so I'm going to continue. Private transactions. You can send GRS anonymously. The Samurai wallet boasts its anonymity and security, as it allows for private stealth addresses with both Tor and VPN support. VPN is virtual privacy network. Tor, for those that are not aware of what Tor is, there's what is known as the Onion browser. The Tor network is basically, it's like a decentralized, it's an anonymous web browser, and it uses different nodes, entry, relay, and exit nodes, and makes your internet browsing somewhat anonymous. It's not completely anonymous. There's other layers of security and precaution one can take with Tor to truly be anonymous. If you want, complete privacy in terms of internet browsing. It's slower than our traditional or conventional internet that we use, or that we're used to using. But it's definitely worth that compromise if you want privacy. Nevertheless, just to really touch on that in terms of private transactions, a lot of people say that Bitcoin is anonymous and all these cryptocurrencies are anonymous and they're so dangerous. It kind of creates a market or a gateway to criminal activities and all kinds of other stuff. But not to get sidetracked, and I always do this, I always kind of digress and expand on certain things I feel like should be addressed. But Bitcoin and most cryptocurrencies are not anonymous. They're pseudonymous or pseudonymous. I can't ever get that word right. But there's only a few true anonymous cryptocurrencies. A dark coin is like probably the most popular. Actually, ZCASH is the latest and probably most private, most anonymous cryptocurrency that we have. It's based on like the crypto note white paper, which was a white paper that outlined a kind of like a private Bitcoin or a private peer-to-peer currency that would be anonymous. And a lot of anonymous cryptos that we see, like Monero, Bytecoin, Digital Note, ZCASH, they're all kind of based on this crypto note white paper that came out. I don't know what year. I can't keep up with some of these the releases for these projects, but that's very important, and especially like for law enforcement, if you're out there. And I know that there is a lot of bad stuff and bad people out there that do misuse cryptocurrency, and I think that's what the cryptocurrency community needs to do, is kind of come together and really show and prove that cryptocurrency is not just used by people on the dark web, and people who research and study cryptocurrency, or even the dark web, if you're into just researching that aspect of the tech world or that side of the internet. Just because you get certifications in it, or you research and study it, and you have a know about these things, doesn't mean that you partake in it. It just means that that's kind of a subject or a topic that arouses your curiosity, and that's something that you study. So, with that being said, for like law enforcement and stuff, if you are out there and you are investigating like things like Bitcoin or Litecoin or whatever, it's very important to note these are not anonymous cryptocurrencies. They can be used anonymously. There's certain layers of security that can be introduced in the process, and it wouldn't be difficult if somebody really wanted to remain unknown. But nevertheless, those are still cryptocurrencies which have a blockchain that is a public ledger. All transactions are recorded, and they're open to the public. I mean, there's a wallet address which consists of a number, and unless somebody goes out and takes the implements extra precautions and takes the certain measures to hide their IP address and to do all these other things that can be done to make their Bitcoin transactions anonymous, it's really not anonymous. And still, you always have to worry about the cashing out of the Bitcoin. When you cash it out, in most cases, if you're doing it through an exchange, if you're doing it through a website that deals with like Bitcoin transactions, most websites that I'm aware of have certain rules and regulations that they have to abide by, especially in the United States. And there's certain laws like the Bank Secrecy Act and certain laws that are I agree with, that are put in place to prevent money laundering, to prevent financial proceeds from illegitimate activities. So it's very important. Bitcoin is not a truly anonymous currency, and I think the Grostlecoin as well. I mean, you can send transactions anonymously. There's a great level of security, but nevertheless, I wouldn't equate it to something like ZCASH or Darkcoin or Monero. Monero's, that's a really big coin. Sorry, not to get off subject here. Multi-pool resistant basically makes it far less likely for a fork to be struck in the coin, creating all sorts of anomalies and problems. Taking out the multi-pool problem levels out even more fair distribution through proof of fork among smaller pools and miners. And I think this is great, because who wants to have all these forks in the road like we do with Bitcoin? I think that's something that definitely can be improved upon in the cryptocurrency world, where people don't welcome change openly, or they're very easily. People don't really like change, and I think change can be good. and it can be bad. But when you're dealing with something that like finance, and you're dealing with something that's a, you know, whatever you want to call cryptocurrency, an asset, a security, whatever you want to call it, you really want to have faith in currency, right? You want to have faith in the dollar. You want to have faith in your money. Anything that you earn that has value, you want to be able to look at it and say, okay, this is what it's worth today, and you can rest assured, you know, when you get up the next morning, that that's going to be kind of what it's going to be worth tomorrow. You know, maybe with a little, there's always going to be that that margin of volatility. But anyhow, highly profitable for all miners. You can mine GRS without specialized hardware and still turn over a profit, which makes Grostlecoin really the people's coin. I really like hearing that. Energy saving and lower power usage, very important. We need to be very environmentally friendly when we're implementing these kinds of technologies. I guess the fact that it's not printed on paper and we're not like, yeah, I think that's a step in the right direction, right? With cryptocurrency, is that we're not, and we can print wallets on paper and have paper wallets, but nevertheless, you know, that's just staying one step ahead, the environmental game. Energy saving and low power outage or usage, sorry. Due to having the GPU mining GRS algorithm, Grostlecoin is really economical to mine, and if you are residing in a hot country, this is the coin to mine as power costs are far less. Okay, extremely interested and growing community that is backing the coin for its proven innovation and contributions to the technological advancement of cryptocurrency. I think cryptocurrency really boils down to its kind of fan base and following, which starts at a grassroots level. A lot of cryptocurrencies that you would be surprised, they have a great following on Reddit, and then Reddit is a big tool, and then you got Steemit, which is kind of a newer cryptocurrency based social network, and then of course Twitter and all the rest. But it's pretty interesting how social media kind of drives not just media and the news and all of these things that we see outside of the tech world, or in the tech world as well, but also like at a very basic and fundamental level in respect to cryptocurrency. So, active development team, again, they're assuring that every three months there's going to be a major development released. What is Grostlecoin backed by? I don't know how much of this I'm going to read because I don't want to make an hour-long video, but we'll kind of skip through this and yeah, I think we'll do that. Kind of breeze through it. I don't want to take up all day going over just one coin, even though I would love to. Here are some of the features that make Grostlecoin special. First, coin with Segwit. Enough said. Grostlecoin is a blockchain pioneer by being the first coin that activated Segwit in January 2017. And by the way, we'll get to Segwit probably in another video, but enabling Lightning Network, Grostlecoin gets almost zero fee transactions, instant payments, scalability, and atomic swaps. Extremely low fees. The only coin capable of being sent over SMS. I did not know this until I just read it. See, learn something new every day. Continuous development every 3 months. We've already talked about that. The only coin that has successfully ported Bitcoin Armory. The only coin that has over 80 Electrum servers. One of the few coins that has an Ubuntu PPA available. Don't know what that is. One of the few coins that is officially maintained by the Bitcoin Debian packaging team. The only coin that has successfully ported multi-bit HD. 11 different Android wallets. Most struggle to have just one. 10 different BlackBerry wallets. Most don't have any. 3 different iOS wallets. Over 10 different desktop wallets. The only coin that has ported Samurai and thus successfully implemented BIP 147. You can work with payment channels with Grostlecoin. One of the few coins where you can play with OP underscore hold RBF and other new features. Folks, don't expect for me to explain what all this stuff is, because I'm kind of learning it along the way. But I have some knowledge of Grostlecoin, just as I've been recently, conducting my own research. But the only coin that has ported Electrum Client onto Java, one of the few coins that has ported rushwallet.com. Check out rushwallet.com. I know I will after this video. The only coin with over 100 repositories of developed work. The only coin that has wallets which can use NFC tags as encryption key. Interesting. That's very, very interesting. Back in 2014, I was kind of working on developing an idea which implemented NFC, RFID like tags, and I had one in the works where you scan the little RFID tag with your phone, and it can read the wallet, and it opens up the Bitcoin or whatever application client you're using, Litecoin. I mean, you can program it to do basically anything. But I had it to where the wallet would open up. It would, open up the receiving address. But I never got to the actual point or stage of being able to use it as to sweep private keys, which was actually my original intention. But things happen, you take on too many projects at once, and next thing you know, you forget about what you were working on initially. But nevertheless, that's great. NFC tags as encryption key, that's fantastic. The only coin that has ported Msigna, the only coin that has ported Sentinel. I've heard of Sentinel, I haven't heard of the other one. The only coin that is still being compiled with Visual Studio, like Satoshi himself did. One of the few altcoins that have a working testnet. One of the few altcoins that are hosting their own block explorer. One of the few altcoins that even have wallets for testnet. The only altcoin that has ported Libitcoin to Grostlecoin. I don't know what Libitcoin is, but it sounds great. Check out Libitcoin. One of the few altcoins that are keeping their core wallet up to date. And we see a lot of that where some coins, they have like a wallet that comes out and they like rarely update it, and those are the ones that usually people forget about, and then they drop off the coinmarketcap.com. And ASIC resistant, a GPU miner's heaven, which makes the mining distribution of its coin fair and more even, multipool resistant. Should you invest? Yes, I would definitely invest in Grostlecoin. It's listed on quite a bit of exchanges, and I believe some of these exchanges, like Binance, I think you gotta like pay them at least $5,000 just to even get your coin listed. So anytime you see people get their coins, or you see a coin get listed on any exchange, or any mainstream exchange at least, it's, it takes a lot of work and effort to do that. And I truly admire and respect the people that are consistent enough in taking it there. Mobile wallets, it's got plenty of mobile wallets, paper wallets. Ledger and Trezor are coming in 2018. Credit card. So these are all the different places you can buy Grostlecoin. Is it profitable to invest in Grostlecoin? I would say yes. So, how does Grostlecoin work? Let's read up on that a little bit. As one of the latest types of currencies, Grostlecoin is seen as a solution to myriads of issues that characterize the fiat currencies. The currency is very easy to store, transfer, and designate for a specific purpose. But the question of how Grostlecoin works never fades away, especially from new enthusiasts. I think that's with any cryptocurrency. It's just like Bitcoin. Still, till this day, like, I could sit down and I can explain it. Simply put, in layman's terms, I can explain how Bitcoin works. But then anytime I read the Bitcoin white paper, or anytime I watch videos on other people's explanation of Bitcoin, it's like my view just kind of changes. It's like, could I have said this better? Could I have done that better? Explaining Bitcoin. But anytime you're talking about the blockchain and blockchain technology, it's all very parallel. It's all very similar to, all coins. I mean, it's the same technology, right? It's kind of like HTML is HTML or JavaScript is JavaScript, right? So the blockchain is the blockchain. But then you got things like Tangle, which is a completely, entirely, totally different things. Like we see the IOTA or Mega IOTA coin, IoT stands for the Internet of Things. We see that. And the Tangle, which is different than Blockcoin, yet it's still kind of in the same, it's not in the same lane, but it's going in the same direction, but just kind of in a different lane, going in the same direction. So the Grostlecoin public ledger. To use Grostlecoin, the first step is installing or using the Grostlecoin wallet on your computer or smartphone. The wallet is the pouch that holds your digital crypto coins. The wallet will allow you to receive and send Grostlecoins. The Grostlecoin network operates as a shared public ledger blockchain. A blockchain is made of a single chain of distinct blocks or information arranged chronologically. Though other blockchains can be of different components based on what the network deals with, the Grostlecoin network only consists of transactions. And this is where blockchain is having scalability issues, and there's like the network congestion thing that we see going on. That's why they had to come out with the Lightning Network, is because anytime you have a transaction, there has to be a certain X amount of confirmations, and that whole blockchain consensus thing is what takes. That's why we see like Bitcoin transactions nowadays. I mean, it could take hours. I've seen Bitcoin transactions take hours, and like small amounts, and it's just maybe it was something with the miner fee. Maybe you got to up and ante the fee or something, but nevertheless, Tangle coins like Mega IOTA are set to solve that, but we'll see. All the transactions that have been confirmed in the network are stored in the ledger that communicates with every Grostlecoin wallet to determine how many spendable coins are there. The integrity and chronology of the blockchains are implemented with cryptography. How a transaction works. A transaction on the Grostlecoin network means the transfer of value between two users. Though Grostlecoin wallets are commonly known as a means of storage for your coins, the reference is actually a misnomer. In reality, the wallet only stores private keys and public keys used for signing transactions to generate mathematical proof that you are the owner of the wallet. The signature also ascertains whether there are enough coins and guards the wallet against being altered. Once a user initiates a transaction, it takes about 10 minutes for it to be confirmed and a new block added to the network every 10 minutes through a process referred as mining. I'm going to go mine some Grostlecoin after this. All this talk about mining and crypto is making me excited. I don't get this excited that easily. Grostlecoin mining in Grostlecoin is a distributed consensus system applied to confirm transactions and adding them to the public ledger blockchain, just like Bitcoin. It helps to arrange the transactions in chronological order, protecting the network's neutrality and ensuring the nodes agree about the status of the system. The agreement helps to prevent a scenario where previous transactions are confirmed again. So that's when you're addressing double spending. That's the greatest thing about the blockchain and Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, is it really solves the double spending issue. It's like a transaction is transaction. Each one is unique. It's confirmed by some serious mathematics. And it's true what they say, math, the only subject that counts. And it's true. So Grostlecoin does the same thing, obviously, as Bitcoin in that respect. And this is kind of, as I'm reading this is a very kind of like a general cookie cutter cutout kind of template that fits all cryptocurrencies, when we start talking about like double spending and the blockchain, for the most part, this applies all across the board to just about every currency that I've researched, unless it's not blockchain based. The process of Grostlecoin mining also prevents one entity adding consecutive blocks, such that no one party can replace a section of the blocks already added to the system. Remember that miners are rewarded for helping to confirm the transactions. This is the main method that most cryptocurrency blockchains use to release more coins into circulation. Therefore, if you want to get some coin, one of the popular methods is mining. Does Grostlecoin use blockchain technology? Of course. And it is a fork from the original Bitcoin blockchain. I didn't know that. And a lot of very many cryptos are, Litecoin, I think was the first. Was it not? Litecoin. Was it a fork, or it was a copy of the code? I know it comes from the same code with some small variations made to it. And then we're going to continue to see that. I think every time Bitcoin forks, who knows how many different Bitcoins we're going to have. But I'm not going to get into mining until I finish this video, and then when I go and sit behind the computer, might get into a little bit of mining Grostlecoin. So the blockchain technology has continued to grow and manifest itself in every aspect of the modern lifestyle. From a controversial alternative currency to the most valuable digital cryptocurrency, Grostlecoin has now become an irresistible investment. Here are the most notable advantages that come with Grostlecoin. It is anonymous and private. The underlying factor for most blockchain technologies is the ability to maintain their transactions fully anonymous. Unlike other payment models, through banks where the sender and receiver's details must be revealed, it is totally different in Grostlecoin. The most that you can know is the address of the Grostlecoins to be spent. Notably, even the address is still encrypted so that the miners in the network can only confirm whether the address has ample coins to make the anticipated transaction. This means you can make payments, receive payments, and grow your investment portfolio without being noticed by anyone. Now, you do not need to look for a tax haven to keep personal cash safe. Simply buy Grostlecoins. Freedom of payment across the globe. And I'm still very shaky on how anonymous Grostlecoin is. I have to do some more reading into that, but freedom of payment across the globe, peer-to-peer, I think that's just kind of basic stuff. Best way to control your money. And most cryptocurrencies will claim that, but ability to pick transaction fees. And I know you can adjust transaction fees like Ethereum. It's kind of like the higher the transaction fee, the more you put in, I think the faster the transaction. But nevertheless, there's a certain amount or a threshold that has to be met. The risk for merchants are fewer. Grostlecoin transactions are very fast. I already touched on that. Very fast. And this is good because if you're going to go to Starbucks and you're going to get a blueberry muffin and a medium coffee or like a mocha latte or something, I don't think you're going to be able to do that with Bitcoin. Just based on what I've been seeing. I mean, I don't know what they're going to have to do to the code, the Bitcoin code, what kind of a fork Bitcoin's going to have for fast transactions like this, because Grostlecoin, I mean, it's super fast, and hopefully it stays that way. No third-party seizures. So we get into the legal thing. Grostlecoin is non-inflationary. The main reason why Grostlecoin is being referred to as the future of money is that it is non-inflationary. When central governments want to add more currency to the market, they simply print it. And this is true. This has been one of the main causes of inflation and lowering of the price of commodities. However, Grostlecoin only creates 105 million GRS that will ever exist. Same with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to have, what, like 21, was it million? Or 21 billion? Whatever the case is, there's only a certain amount of coins. Most cryptocurrencies are set to where there's only going to be a certain amount of coins And another great thing about crypto is it's divisible. I mean, how like Bitcoin, right? How many decimal points are there in a Bitcoin? What is it, like 7? In each decimal point, or each number is like a Satoshi, and you can have, I mean, 0.001 Bitcoin, and or whatever coin, and it can be worth very many dollars, or very many whatever kind of currency you're using. So I think that's the coolest thing about cryptocurrency also, is that it's so divisible. You don't have to have one Bitcoin for it to be worth $1. I mean, you can have it just depending on its market value and usage, and its value increases, and thus it's just amazing. I get too sidetracked talking about this stuff. I get so excited. What are the risks of Grostlecoin? Losing your private keys. Folks, always have backups of your private keys. It's like, I had this great idea the other day, and I was just thinking about, if you are like storing just large amounts of cryptocurrency, if you were really looking at that being your retirement fund, there's so many creative and innovative ways of going about it and storing your private keys. That if you want to make those private keys really secure and not penetratable, you can. But I mean, of course, if you're taking your private keys and then you have it like laying out in the open, or you only have one private key for your wallet, and everybody knows where you keep it, or you keep it in kind of the most obvious place, then it's not going to be difficult to compromise those private keys. But always have a backup of a backup. I would always do so, and have it in a way that only you know what it is. That way, if somebody ever finds your keys, they're not going to know. Even if they're a cryptocurrency expert or enthusiast, there's ways of going about it and doing it, and storing your private keys to where only you're going to have access to them if you do it correctly. But always have backups of backups. Don't just have one backup. Have a few. That way, if you lose your ledger or your Trezor, and then for some reason you don't have your passphrase that you had when you first set up the wallet, you should always have something else to refer to and say, oh, wait, well, okay, it's not a lost cause. The danger of cyber attacks. Danger of being drawn to a scam. These are all very basic things, and I would assume and imagine most cryptos claim similar security measures. Regulations. The looming regulations could restrict digital currencies, and this is very true. And really, if there's ever regulations on cryptos to where it's like just completely banned, I mean, I think people will always find a way around that, but all that's going to really mean is that you're not going to be able to cash out your cryptos. But with the market going the way it's going, I don't see that there's going to be regulations that ban crypto. And there's states like Nevada, I mean, they're very pro-Bitcoin, pro these new innovative blockchain technologies. So they're setting up laws that actually protect cryptocurrencies in certain states here in the United States of America, which is great, because it means that people are finally figuring it out. I mean, it's not just digital virtual money you play with. This is actually a technology with intrinsic value. But regulations could definitely, who's to say somebody doesn't pass a regulation where cryptos are outlawed or exchanges are outlawed unless they meet a certain threshold, and that could definitely have an impact on its dollar value. Nevertheless, if people ever wanted to just use Bitcoin or use whatever coin, I think that it would be safe to assume people would be able to implement that. Because it's all just a matter of agreement. It's like if you and I or a group of people say, hey, you know what, we're going to reach a consensus and we're going to say, you know, these seashells are valuable. For some reason, we're going to ditch the dollar, right, and go back to trading seashells. Well, guess what? That's what it's going to be. People have always found innovative ways to kind of keep tally of you know, of value or what has value, and use certain modes or certain means, whether it's seashells or gemstones or whatever, pieces of gold or silver. And people have always taken certain things that are kind of appealing, resonate with people and with other people, and they've agreed upon it. And you know, that's where gold coins or silver coins, I mean, what was the value in gold and silver tender before we had learned of how to apply gold or silver in our current industries and technologies? What were they actually worth? I mean, what can you do with gold? Gold was just some shiny piece of metal. Like, what could you actually do? It had absolutely no use that we're aware of as when we study history. So, federal government has indicated that it could declare BTC a tax asset, and I think that's with anything. I mean, very high volatility. That's with, again, cryptocurrencies until they're adopted, not necessarily by the mainstream, but until cryptocurrencies are adopted all across the board, we kind of figure out how exactly they're going to be used. And I just see cryptocurrencies as kind of like a micro asset, in a sense that although we may have one or maybe a handful of cryptocurrencies that are going to dominate globally and be the closest thing to a currency or money, most cryptos that we're seeing, they're kind of like, they're like tokens. They're almost like rewards points or something, right? Like when you go to you go do your shopping and you have a certain amount of rewards points, and then you go to the gas station that belongs to the same grocery store and they say, hey, would you like to redeem your rewards points? You can get 30 cents off a gallon of gas if you do today. Or, you know, you've got this many rewards points, this, which equal X amount of dollars. Now you can go and you can, you know, buy that, you know, buy whatever you want in that, which equates that dollar value. So I kind of see a lot of cryptos as that. Like, they have kind of a platform and a niche, however you say that. You see a lot of cryptos trying to kind of corner the market there with certain technologies and certain things like video games. I think Digibyte was really going hard on trying to become kind of like a video game, like micro payment thing. And I think a lot of coins, like we had a recent one, DentaCoin, right? It was a kind of a cryptocurrency for like the dental industry. But you can use any coin for that. You don't have to call something DentaCoin or call it, you know, something that kind of targets a specific market. It's just a matter of getting that market to accept it, seeing the value, and adopting the technology, the crypto technology. Got sidetracked, eh? Yes. But yeah, back to that. I think most coins will have kind of their own market, and that's not to say that they won't have a great value. I mean, you'll have cryptocurrencies that kind of have their own market, their own field or whatever, right? Whether it's video games, so you got game credits, Engine coin or Engine token. That's kind of a big one that's coming out. They say they have the most securest cryptocurrency wallet, or at least mobile wallet, and I was testing it out. It's pretty decent, and it's very dynamic. There's a whole list of other currencies you can implement into that wallet. But you'll have these cryptos that'll kind of corner their own market, and what's to say that they're not going to have, you know, a great value when they do. I mean, it's the best way to describe it is kind of like the stocks, right? Like Google, right? Or Apple or something, right? These coins are kind of just like a stock asset. But there's so much more because they're based on a certain technology that is going to be widely adopted. So this asset has something called the blockchain, which is kind of the technology or the driving engine or the means for this technology to exist and to function. And then there's so many ways to go about that. You're literally creating a market for assets. And in a time when we have so much global debt and national debt, cryptocurrency is going to be able to kind of balance that out. It'll kind of leverage the market because there's a demand for money, because our money is kind of debt-based, right? So cryptocurrency can alleviate a lot of that debt. And we'll get into that in another video. This is supposed to be about Grostlecoin. But what happens if Grostlecoin gets lost? And this is with any coin, again. If it gets lost, it's on you unless you have several backups or you have some, you have your private keys or a backup or of a backup of a private key. So we really won't get into regulation. I don't see Grostlecoin coming to our like security exchange market anytime soon, but I mean we see Ethereum, we see Bitcoin, we see even Litecoin. I think most recent news on Litecoin was there's a listing for a Litecoin like security exchange in the UK somewhere, but we can see all the top coins get listed on these security exchanges, and as we kind of move forward. And Ethereum, according to the Security Exchange Commission, is not a security, or so they're saying, but that doesn't mean that Ethereum tokens, or some Ethereum tokens, depending on the underlying technology, won't be considered as such. So it's going to be really interesting to see how our Security Exchange Commission and just how authorities, you know, in the financial sector worldwide differentiate between ERC-20 tokens and Ethereum. Well, it's all pretty generic stuff here. I mean, it's all kind of common sense stuff you would expect from any cryptocurrency, but I just wanted to kind of go through these things because I'm learning along the way, and some of this stuff I already know, other stuff I don't. Some of it just refreshes my memory, but yeah, folks, Grostlecoin, definitely get into it. It's been on my radar for some time. Anytime you have that kind of consistency and determination to make new developments every 3 months, I mean, it really shows you that, you know, the involvement of the staff is dedicated, and you know, anytime there's that level and degree of dedication, I think it'll pay off. I think consistency always does. And back to what we were talking about earlier, is Grostlecoin anonymous? Your standalone Grostlecoin transaction is anonymous in the same way Bitcoin transaction is. So it's not really anonymous, it's more pseudonymous or pseudonymous, however, whatever. Additional details pertaining to third-party anonymity. Check out the Grostlecoin, folks. I'm going to go mine some of these Go mine some Grostlecoins. This is actually like my second coin of the day video, so I don't want anyone to think that like all my videos are going to be like this, but as I do this more and I kind of put it into practice and make a routine of it, I'll you know, nail it down, and I'll try to make my videos more brief in the future and really stick to kind of a formula or a template of websites and stuff when I make these videos. But Grostlecoin definitely on my radar, definitely something you should get into, check it out. And I'm going to be posting some more videos soon here, but I think Grostlecoin is here to stay, and I can foresee that Grostlecoin might just be one of those ones, just because of the name. It's like Grostlecoin, it's one of those things you're going to passively just kind of skip through just because it's catchy, but it's kind of almost, it's like almost difficult, right, to say or pronounce, and you're kind of like, what is that? And you skip through it when you're looking at your coinmarketcap.com or whatever, and then one day you're going to see the price of Grostlecoin go up really, really something along the lines of Bitcoin or even Ethereum, and you're going to say, oh, I didn't see that coming. Grostlecoin, how did that happen? And I think a lot of times that's what happens. I mean, I remember when I was first contemplating getting into Bitcoin in 2009, and I even downloaded a wallet, and I was trying to figure it out. I was scratching my head like, what the heck is this? You know, all these numbers and this little weird private key and address. I was like, this is a scam. This is too difficult to understand. And it's really not. It's not that difficult, and it's proven not to be a scam. Anything that has, I mean, we're almost 10 years in to Bitcoin, right? It came out in 09 or something, or 08, 09. So we're there. Still in its infancy stage, because the technology is so, blockchain technology is so, how do I say this? It's so serious. It's so valuable. There's so much to it. There's so many ways you can apply it. We're kind of in the trial and error phase, I think, of it. And it's so huge, and it's so interesting, and it's so fascinating, and it's so amazing that it's going to replace the internet as we know it. It's going to replace a lot of technologies, or at the very least be implemented into those technologies and become a component thereof. And when that happens, and it will, the internet's going to change, emailing is going to change. We've got cell phones, mobile phones coming out. I think there's several phones that are coming out that are going to be blockchain based. HTC is coming out with a blockchain based cell phone. It's going to be waterproof also, and they didn't really specify a release date from the article I was reading, but they did say it was going to be called like Exodus, or the system that it was going to run on was the Exodus system, kind of like the Exodus wallet, but there's no saying if that's the final name that they're going to call it, or if they're going to switch it up and call it something else, and maybe that's just a prototype. Nevertheless, once the blockchain truly comes into fruition and is what it's supposed to be, and what its creators have envisioned it to be, I think we're going to see a lot of problems as well go away when you're talking about viruses and malware and you know, all these security threats which we have in the IT world. I think they're going to be resolved through the blockchain, because the blockchain offers that level of security. It's just about coding it the right way and implementing it to where it's, you know, it's foolproof. There's no way of changing it. It's once an application, for example, is designed to run a certain way on the Ethereum blockchain via smart contract or whatever the case may be, that's the way it's going to be implemented. There's no going in and changing things around, which is where a lot of security threats in the IT world come from, is hackers and people with malicious intent that understand computer coding are able to go into systems, compromise them, change codes, go through back doors and all that. And the blockchain can fix that. So we're going to see, who knows, maybe it'll be Grostlecoin. But anyhow, hey, thanks for tuning in. Subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate everyone out there that's put up with my ranting. And I'm going to try to keep it to like 10 minutes per video when doing these weekly coins. This is just my second video, folks, so don't hold it against me. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, p2ptender.com. It's all letters except the number 2, P2P, meaning peer-to-peer, p2ptender.com. Log on, check me out on Twitter. I got a Reddit account. Haven't really been on Reddit, just kind of getting started, and I'm waiting for Steemit, because I guess you got to kind of wait, kind of get in line unless you're willing to pay to cut corners and get your Steemit membership going in a timely fashion. But definitely check me out, and I do accept donations because it's you, the folks out there, that make these videos possible. You and day trading. And yeah, till next time. And I'm going to be announcing a lot of stuff in the weeks and months to come, working on software, certain applications, free and paid, for the crypto community. So please stay tuned. Something I'm really passionate about, and hope to hear some of your folks' ideas. If anybody has any questions, leave a comment. And until next time.